Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be speaking to you today. My name is Mike Woźniak, also called Rysiek. Some of you might know me already. I work in the Free and Open Source Software Foundation, which is a part of Open Education Coalition in Poland. I also was engaged with telecomics and the anti-ACTA movement in Poland. So lots of different things. I will be talking to you about open education resources in Poland. Okay, so who knows what are open education resources? Show of hands. Okay, who likes shows of hands? Show of hands. Okay, apparently you're not sleeping. Who knows what free software is? Very well. So, free software, 4 freedoms, I won't go into that. The same 4 freedoms should apply to open education resources. The open education resources are media, are textbooks, are documents, etc., used in education that are open licensed. Usually it's CC BY or CC BY SA, these 2 licenses, and they have to be technologically open. So they have to be available in open formats, obviously, right? We cannot have technical problems like DRM with open education resources. That would kill the whole point. And the thing is that, you know, this is a part of a bigger movement. Free and open source software, open education resources, open access, many other, liberal culture, etc. This is all part of a bigger picture. So this is just one of the parts of a huge picture that most of us probably here are a part of somehow. The thing is that this makes a lot of sense in education. Education is sharing knowledge, right? You have to share knowledge to educate people. You share knowledge, and to share knowledge, you educate people. So being able to share the resources, being able to share the textbook, give the media to the students, and let the students then remix, have fun with it, play with it like they would with free software code, or like they would with Wikipedia article, or like they would with anything other open licensed, makes a lot of sense in education. And the other thing is that such resources, as we know from the Wikipedia example, are easier to keep up to date, right? You make a textbook once, and then you just amend it, update it year by year. You don't have to make it all over again, right? And everybody can actually benefit from it. So, e-textbooks in Poland. This is a tricky name. I don't like the name. I believe that the name should be open textbooks. That would make a lot more sense, and that would make our job much easier. Because when we're speaking about e-textbooks, electronic textbooks, people see tablets, people see, electronic devices, people see, oh my God, I will have to have a computer or a device to actually read the textbooks. So this is not the whole idea. The main and the most important part of the e-textbooks or open textbooks program in Poland is the openness. It's the fact that they are going to be published on free and open license. They are going to be published in free and open source formats. Yes. So this, right? This program is planned for. It's a pilot program. It's a pilot program. It's not for all the grades yet. It's not for all the students yet. It's being prepared for grades 4th to 6th of Polish education system. So it will be around 18 textbooks prepared for about 11 million euros, and this program. This is the boring part. So first, some technicalities. This program requires. This is how it's built in Poland. Requires 4 higher education institution partners to do the subject matter work, like biology, math, whatever, and 1 technological partner to be responsible for the technological part of the program, like which formats actually to use, which technologies actually to use, etc., etc. But there are important stipulations in the program. First of all, as I said, they have to be in open formats. Secondly, they have to be, all textbooks that are prepared, that are going to be prepared, have to be available in print-ready version, so that anybody could just go to a library, go to a school, go whatever, and print their own textbook. So they don't have to actually have the device. Right? This is crucial, as we will see later. Some statistics and some background information about Poland and about textbook situation in Poland, so that we understand what we are talking about when we are talking about, publishers' campaign against textbooks. Average monthly wage in Poland is about 1,000 euros. Minimal wage is about 280 euros. And in France, minimal wage is, just to put it in perspective, in France the minimal wage is 1,200 euros per month. Okay, so these are the numbers that we're actually working at in Poland. And a set of textbooks for a single child each year costs about 150 euros. That's more than half of minimal wage. I mean, that's a lot of money. And the whole market, whole textbook market, is worth around 250 million euros per year. This is how much money is pumped, basically, to the textbook, to textbook publishers. There's another important thing. The way the system works is that parents pay for textbooks for their children, but they do not select the textbooks. Teachers select the textbooks. Textbooks are not for a particular class or for a particular grade in a particular school. Textbooks are not being selected by the parents, are not being selected on the ministry level or wherever. They are selected by the teacher of this particular class. But because the teacher in Poland doesn't pay for the textbooks, obviously this gives the textbook publishers a lot of possibilities to influence the decision. So workshops are being made for teachers to show them how good each textbook of each publisher is and why should they use this one instead of that one or whichever, right? And free textbooks and free materials are being given to the teachers so that they know how to use certain publishers' textbooks, right? This all influences the decision of the teachers, and because the teachers do not pay for the textbook, they do not pay for their decision, they can choose whatever, and the parents foot the bill anyway. Well, not only the parents. This is the kick, because first of all, textbook publishers can ask the Ministry of Education to subsidize their textbooks, and unfortunately, I couldn't find the numbers of how much textbooks are actually being subsidized in Poland. I'm sorry for that. I couldn't find those. But the government also subsidizes poor families. They have a special fund for poor families to buy textbooks for their children, and that's about 32 million euros each year. So this is the money. 32 million euros each year goes directly to families to buy textbooks. So it goes basically directly to the textbook publishers, right? So this is the situation. Oh, and another thing. This is actually also quite important. That second-hand market, right? Student stops using the textbook, gives it to his younger sibling, or sells it. Well, not anymore, because the textbooks are being bundled with exercise books, or are actually the same book as the exercise book. So you have a text, and then you have exercises in the same book. So once used, it's not actually resellable. It's not possible to resell. Obviously, you can ask kids to use pencils, but we all know how that works, right? When you give a textbook to a child and he or she has to write in it anyway, they will use a pen at some point, and this textbook will not be second-handable. It will not be possible to sell it on the second-hand market. And what's more, I will use this word actually, that textbooks right now in Poland are very, very flimsy. I mean, after a year or two, they're falling apart, right? This is not the case with textbooks like 20 or 30 years ago. I mean, I have such textbooks at my home, and I can still use them. They were solid books because they were meant to be used through generations right now. Obviously, this is not business-wise for the lobby. And there's another interesting statistic. Between 2005 and 2011, the number of kids, of school kids in Poland, dropped from 5.5 million to from 6.5 million to 5.5 million, about one sixth. But the value of the textbook market went up from 155 million euros to about 250 million euros. So about a half. How do they do that? I would love to, have a business model that would work like that. How do they do that? So obviously, textbook publishers do not like this idea. They do not like, this, right? So this is what they do. The whole campaign of textbook publishers is based on fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It has nothing to do with, with subject matter, as I will try to show you. First of all, what they use as an argument is cost. Oh my God, these textbooks will cost exorbitant, amounts of money to make. I mean, electronic textbooks, all the equipment, all the gimmicks. Oh my God, this will be a lot of money. So basically, they're saying something like that. I would love to talk with their, budgeting divisions if math works like that there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wouldn't. Because it usually works, the other way around. But still, they use this argument, and the only thing we can do is just try to shoot it down everywhere where it shows. And it's hard. Why it's hard? Because textbook publishers are publishers, so they have quite good contact with the media. And what we've noticed is that Polish media are actually publishing articles written by textbook publishers or textbook publisher PR companies, word for word. Interesting. The second argument, equipment, right? This already showed before, and this I told you that this will be important. You will have to have, the argument goes, oh, well, you will have to have all those iPads, tablets, expensive, gimmicks to actually be able to use the textbooks. The textbooks may be free, but you will have to pay like, 200 or 300 euros for a device. Well, obviously we already know that this is bullshit because, as I said, and I have to reiterate that at every meeting or at every, media outlet I talk with about this program is not about equipment. This has nothing to do with equipment, right? This is about openness. This is about library licensing, and every single textbook will have a print-ready version that actually the textbook publishers could print and sell. Why won't they actually use this business model? It could work, right? People would actually probably buy such textbooks. And there's another interesting argument connected with the equipment, is that, and I quote, you will not have a second-hand market for tablets. So, between them trying to kill off the second-hand market in textbooks and the second-hand market in tablets that is actually picking up steam in Poland, I have no idea, how they are able to actually sell this, but they're trying to. And well, this is our reaction, but I hope it's not only me. Another argument is quality. Only the professional publishing companies can assure the quality of the work that children will use. I mean, the first thing you have to think about, when you think about education, is quality. I mean, for God's sake, think of the children. Think of the children. So the first thing is that, judging by the quality of their arguments, I'm not very, convinced that this is actually the case. And judging by the quality of textbooks that fall apart after 1 or 2 years, I'm actually convinced otherwise, but what do I know? you know, this is actually for another information that I want to, you know, tell you. It's that oh right, first of all, if they're thinking about quality, you know, releasing their textbooks as open education resources and helping others improve them would probably improve the quality, but for some reason they will not do that. I mean, I can bet they will not release their textbooks as open education resources, even though it would improve their quality. So apparently quality isn't exactly the, you know, the most important thing they're thinking of when they're creating the textbook for some reason. I don't know why. But I have been to a meeting where there were government officials from the two ministries involved. The two ministries involved are the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Administration and Digital Affairs. There were the publisher lobby, six or seven very sad people that were trying to convince us that, you know, the internet is a bad thing, etc. And there were the NGOs, you know, from the coalition of open education. And when they got the news on this meeting that, you know, the government has around 11 million euros for, you know, creating 18 textbooks, they took out their, you know, calculators and, okay, that's about 600,000 euros per single textbook. This will not even be enough to clear the copyrights on, you know, graphics used in the textbooks. And we were actually going to say something, but to our surprise, somebody from the government said something, and they said, okay, why don't you use, you know, open education resources, like, you know, photos on a CC BY license or whatever, to illustrate your point. You know, Wikimedia Commons, 15 million, why? And their reaction was actually why this is here. Their reaction was, okay, one of the people said, okay, I'm a representative for one of the biggest textbook publishers in Poland, and we do not use open education resources. This should tell you something. Well, we all agreed that this tells us something, probably not exactly this is the very same thing that he had in mind, but still, you know, fun. This is another one. This is actually quite funny because they are, the publishers are claiming this is an unfair business practice. Right? And we have our market, it's worth 250 million euros, and the government is trying to, you know, destroy the market. How can you, why, I mean, this is an unfair business practice, and it goes further. It goes not only to the government, it goes to the institutions. This is why I said that this is, you know, the boring part was important. As I said, there had to be 4 higher education institutions to be part of the programs for the program to actually start. So they sent a legal threat. They sent a legal threat to every single university in Poland, saying that taking part in a government-funded, government-mandated education program will be an unfair business practice, and they will sue them. That was fun. That was fun. We actually got this. I can show it to you because we actually got this this letter from I think it was the Wrocław University from the bureau of the dean with the note that, I mean, this is some bullshit, and if you can, could you do a, you know, legal analysis of that and publish it, because, you know, we don't care about that, but maybe somebody might not know that this is actually bullshit. So there's a legal analysis in Polish of this whole. Obviously, it's a lot longer. Unfortunately, it's in Polish, so I'll not go through that. Basically, as I said, it's bullshit. But you know, the important part in this part is that you have to be on the, you know, subject matter. If you're fighting for open education resources, you have to be ready also to talk to lawyers. You have to be ready also for completely absurd ideas and completely absurd situations, because if we didn't have the lawyers, you know, to contact and to say, listen, we got this, we know this is bullshit, but we have to show it to other universities because otherwise this program will not fly. We wouldn't be, you know, the program would not fly, because, you know, other universities would probably say, yeah, it's probably bullshit, but I don't know if you want to go into that, because, you know, courts will take like 5 years to clear this up. Another argument, it's related to the previous one, market destruction. You are destroying the market. You know, people will lose their jobs, and not only people in working for the textbook publishers themselves, the whole book market will collapse, because the textbook market is about 20% of the whole book market in Poland. So book market will collapse, the libraries will close, think of the paper mills. I mean, paper mills. I don't even know where to start with this one. It's basically a standard broken window fallacy. Who has heard about broken window fallacy? Okay, so broken window fallacy goes like that. Jack broke a window with his ball. But that's a good thing, because the window maker gets to make money by fixing the window. And then he gets the money and puts it in the economy, buying some food or whatever. So the money works in the economy. So breaking the window is a good thing. Maybe we should break more. Wait. It doesn't work like that. I mean, the assumption here is that hadn't Jack broken the window, the money would be put in a mattress and just rot there. And this is not the case. Obviously, the money would be used to something else. The economy would get the money anyway. It would be just, redirected to something else, probably more needed by Jack's family. So this is why it's, I think this should be the default reaction to this argument by anybody, right? We really do care. I mean, we are very sorry for your dying business models. I mean, we should think, we are very sorry that we couldn't have done anything to save the horse and buggy industry. But right now we have the chance. I mean, everybody in this room has the chance to save some industry. We should close down Wikipedia. It's killing the printed encyclopedia industry. We should kill off Creative Commons because it's killing the music industry, along with piracy or whatever. And we should kill off free software, obviously, right? I mean, think of the industry. Yeah, right. So when they finally get over the broken window fallacy and they see that the money will actually get redirected somewhere else, they are offering the idea where this money will be redirected, and this is the IT industry. The bad IT industry will reap the profits of this e-textbook program, because the huge companies will get into schools and get government subsidies to do things I mean, nobody actually knows what they are saying that those companies will do, because this program isn't about equipment, to reiterate again. So it always gets back. It always gets back to the equipment, and this is why I don't like this e-textbook part. Right? This is exactly the problem. Although I really like the idea that first they use the argument, oh my God, this will kill our industry, you're killing our profits. And then they use the argument, this industry shouldn't get the profits. How does that work in your head? I mean, how can you make this argument and then make the same argument, And I really like the idea that I'm a, IT industry lobbyist. Basically, I've been called an IT industry lobbyist, the big, Microsoft, Google, whatever. I work in a small NGO, and on each and every meeting with the government about the open education resources that we've been asked to come, it was like NGOs for and textbook publishers against. So, okay, IT industry, that's very nice. Centralized education system, and I will go faster because I can see that we're slowly finishing. This is the argument. The Soviet Union is back here again, right? The government will centralize the education because they have now the program to do their bidding in the textbook area. And I'm like, yeah, that's very interesting. But you had to clear your textbooks with the Ministry of Education for the last 20 years, anyway. So, like, if they wanted to centralize something, I think they would already. And this is actually the most interesting one. And I have to actually look at the notes to try to do it right. So basically, apparently, we're a book culture. We're a culture that reads books, and this is the main thing apparently. And if book reading dies, and because people are spending more and more time in front of computers, they are not reading books. So the book culture is dying. Our whole culture is dying. The culture will die. think of the culture. It's fun. I mean, it's fun. It would be fun. It would be a lot of fun if it wasn't so sad. If it wasn't so sad that these arguments are actually printed in printed media. They are actually used in radio programs, etc. And you know, thing is that it could have been different. The textbook publishers could, you know, say, this is actually an opportunity. You know, we can get government money to actually, you know, modernize our business model that is dying. We could, you know, get on with the program. We could help them print the textbooks, you know, the printed versions. We could actually get the CC BY license, because the textbooks in Poland will be licensed on a Creative Commons by attribution license, so they can actually take them and close down you know, do something with the materials and close them down and sell them. So they could actually take the textbooks, for example, prepare them for profiled schools that don't need, for example, this much biology, but they need some more math or whatever, and they could, you know, do business on that. And this would be with the benefit for them and for everybody. But for some reason, they decided to fight. And I believe this is not the best strategy for them, and I believe this is very sad for all of us, because, you know, this binds resources that could have been used otherwise. Because we're fighting back. First of all, we're working together. The Open Education Coalition it's an open coalition of NGOs. It has 17 members right now. 17 members right now. So this amplifies our voice. When we go somewhere and we say, you know, it should be CC BY license and it should be, you know, published with open standards. It's not one organization saying that. It's 17 organizations saying that. And because there are different organizations there, we have Wikimedia Foundation Poland, we have OpenStreetMap Poland, we have the Free and Open Source Software Foundation, and we have the Modern Poland Foundation. And many, many others doing different stuff. So we have experts from many, many different areas. So when we have an argument that is technical, somebody can do it and, you know, try to answer it. And if you have a, you know, lawyery argument, if you have a legal threat, we also have an organization to go to and ask for help. Then we're sending the info out. We're doing talks like that. We're meeting with teachers. We're meeting with the politicians. We're meeting with people and telling them, listen, this is not about equipment. You will not have to buy an iPad, really. We're talking to the media, and all the time we are trying to keep the pressure on politicians and let them know that there is support of this particular program. We've made a special petition website that is gathering, you know, signatures of people that are supporting open education, and at the same time we're watching closely what the government does, because, you know, governments have this thing that they often just start to listen to lobbyists at some point and they just change something, right? So I think this is the strategy that we're using, and for now it works. We'll see about what's else. If you need some more resources, because we don't have much time. All of these are the presentation should be available in the you know, on the 29C3 website somewhere, probably. And thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much. If you have questions, you can line up at the microphones here. And we have also questions from the internet. Can the Signal Angel start with the first question of 5, I think?
Oh, sorry. No, one question, actually. Okay. The internet was quite amazed about the mouse cursor, by the way. But the question is, where do we contact you if we want to learn more about your work?
Again?
Where do we contact you if we want to learn more about your work?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then first question from here.
Hello, greetings from Finland. I'm a mathematics teacher and a student. And first of all, congratulations for your ridiculous situation. I've been laughing a lot at the Polish publishers now. The situation in Finland is so that it's not as dire as you have. I've been seriously amazed that people and media and publishers are even reacting at all to openly licensed materials. This is a totally new thing in Finland.
Okay.
What we just did is that we had a few mathematics teachers who were completely fed up in the curriculum and the book publishing system, and we had a marathon where we wrote a math textbook in a weekend. Creative Commons attribution.
Okay.
And then we did it again. And in the first time we set up an organization, Open Learning Materials Association. And now we've had donations. We now have free maths materials for grades 7 to 9, completely free and open to use for everyone. Also for programming. And this is getting bigger and bigger. And I have to say, we're pretty early on this because the publishing business hasn't reacted, except when we first made a press release. They asked several times, but how do they make their living?
Because they're still not at the point of, but how do we make our living when they,
probably.
oh shit.
So what I really want to ask, including that, how we can contact you, is how you can sort of help us and other people who are not in the same situation as in Poland yet, so we can actually avoid this problem, because we don't have a government who is supporting these open materials yet. They don't know about it. But I will probably try to have a lightning talk about the situation later on.
Well played. We should contact, after the talk. I don't know how we can help as, us. I don't think that the situation in Poland is dire. I think it's actually not bad because the government is supporting and the program is running. We only have to fight the ridiculous, publishers' lobby. So it's not that bad. And I think the best thing we can do is fight them and show that this works, so that other countries could see, okay, so they have it in Poland, so why don't we have it yet? Right? And if the publishers start doing their tricks, it's like, yeah, I mean, this is the argument used in Poland like 5 years ago. And look at this presentation, especially the lady with the leg in the swimming pool. And this is, I think this is the best we can do, and cooperate because when we have a lot of organizations doing things together, it's harder for the government to ignore them, and it's harder for the media to just say, oh, it's just some hackers, geeks, whatever.
Okay, so we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to Finland. Okay, next question from over here. I think you're involved with the EduCamp in spring next year, aren't you?
Yes, it is in Hamburg and on April 12 to 14. Wait a second. 12th to 14th, probably. If this is a weekend, it's in Hamburg. Just Google EduCamp and you'll find us. My question is about the Open Education Coalition. You talked about the organizations that are members there. I wonder if there were any members from the core of the schools, like teacher organizations or something.
Yes, there are organizations that are, an association of libraries, for example. There are universities or university-based organizations, and there's something called Center for Education for Civic Education, Center for Civic Education, that actually does courses for teachers. So I don't think we have an organization that is purely teachers based, but there are organizations that cater to teachers and are working very closely, because the Center for Civic Education works very closely with the Ministry of Education. So it's happening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's go over here.
I have two questions, and the first one is, how did this happen, and also what happened that you actually have a program that says you have to have open textbooks? How did that start? Because where I live, this would be unthinkable.
It's a lot of work by a lot of people, partly work of the Coalition of Open Education, partly work of the members of the coalition before the coalition was created. It was a few years ago. There's a government that actually knows how to listen. They don't know much about technology. They don't know much. They're politicians. They don't know much about technical stuff, but they have the ability and understanding that they should listen and try to understand things when people are saying something to them. And they are actually listening, and they can actually make their own arguments against, dumb arguments from whichever side they come. And this is also connected a little bit with anti-ACTA, because, during anti-ACTA, also the Coalition of Open Education was involved in anti-ACTA and was part of the whole, NGO informal coalition that was fighting anti-ACTA. So we also got, some head start, let's call it a little bit, with ACTA, but it was prepared by long walk and long work by people and organizations before, working on different levels and a little bit of luck. So it's not really easy to go through the exact process. We didn't have a plan that we realized. It was like this happened, reacted. Look, we have a program, and now we have to try to keep it alive, basically.
Okay, and another question: is there? So you said that all the publishers are against this. Isn't there a publisher? Can you do something like divide and conquer? Isn't there a publisher you can pull on your side that can actually profit from doing this?
We're trying to do that, but it's not easy, because when you look at the legal threat somewhere, oh yeah, here it is. I write to you on behalf of my, something or other, and the list is all the major publishers, all the major textbook publishers in Poland. So they are already, they ganged up, and they are already, fighting tooth and nail against this. And the mind frame of the person that said that we're not using open education resources and this should tell you something. Well, the mind frame should tell you something. I mean, this is the mind frame in the publishers' lobby, and it's not really easy to reach out to them and work with them, because they don't want to work with open education and liberal licensing. We're trying to do that. This would be the best solution. As I said, it's very sad that they are not in the program, but this is their choice, and we cannot really do much about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For example, in Germany, I'm a teacher at a German vocational school, and now they're sending out commercial or advertisements to teachers for print-on-demand textbooks. So they want to get basically their foot in the market, but let's see how far they get. Okay, there's another question from the lady over there.
Mm-hmm. You were saying in your strategy that you talk to teachers, and I was just wondering if you actually do professional development workshops on openness.
Yes. We do. This is something I didn't say. Sorry. We do trainings from on openness. We do trainings on Creative Commons licensing. We do trainings. Actually, the trainings that the coalition does are based on copyright law. They start from copyright law in Poland, which is very interesting. I won't get into that.
Could you guys just talk a little bit lighter over here? Thank you.
And so we do workshops like that. We start from the copyright law. We show how how the copyright law we have in Poland isn't really working in this, in the education area, even though we have educational, like you can use it for education, whatever, but what does it mean actually? And then we show the teachers, and the teachers like, yeah, okay, yeah, we know this problem, we cannot share this or that. Yeah, well, you can use open education resources. What are those? Oh, here we go. So we do trainings like that. Yes, they're usually whole day or 2-day trainings.
Okay, thank you. And last question from over here, please.
Yes, thank you very much for this very interesting presentation that you had. I have a question, because you mentioned that you face problems from the sides of publishers, but do you also expect, or you have also problems from the sides of collecting societies in Poland, which are, for example, demanding that you stop using like Creative Commons licenses, etc., because of something that is that you mentioned under copyright law?
Mm-hmm. This is interesting, because as I said, open education resources are part of a bigger picture, and they're fit into this bigger picture. Obviously, copyright is one of the huge problems in this bigger picture. But we are trying to handle collection societies. Collection societies are not interested in open education resources. They're not in this discussion at all. They do not do anything here directly, because the law makes them, get some money from white pieces of paper. But this is not exactly lobbying, right? So they're not in this discussion, but they are in the copyright reform or discussion. The interesting thing is that in Poland, since 2 or 3 years, something like that, there was a court order saying you know what, collection agencies? You cannot do anything about Creative Commons. So, sorry, you have to live with that. And the collection agencies since then actually started embracing Creative Commons a bit, just a bit, so that courts cannot do anything bad to them. And we can see we don't see anything warm and good happening with the publishers, but we see some good signs from the collection agencies, and there is some work being done there. But it's not in the area of open educational resources; it's in the area of music, films, etc.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I think
thank you.
If you still have questions, Michael will be around here.
Yeah. I'll be here till the end of the Congress. So.